You, along with 99% of the other coaches, consultants, and agency owners on LinkedIn, are probably doing LinkedIn lead generation wrong. I've signed $600,000 plus worth of clients in the past year across 2 businesses, all through LinkedIn. And that was without having a huge audience or a super complicated funnel or needing to spend hours on content and DMs every single day. And my clients follow the exact same system, and they're all booking 5 to 10 super qualified sales calls every single week through LinkedIn. But today I'll show you the 7 biggest mistakes that people on LinkedIn make when they're trying to generate leads through the platform. And I'll show you how to avoid them as well, so that you can build a LinkedIn system that consistently works for you and predictably book sales calls for your business. So a little bit about me. My name's Charlie. I signed $40,000 worth of clients in the last 30 days for my new solo consulting offer that I launched 1 month ago. I signed all of them clients through LinkedIn. And the best part was I didn't have to work 10 to 12 hour days and spend hours on lead generation. I'm never worried about when my next client will or won't sign. And even when I take a week off, I still book sales calls. Like last week when I spent the week in Ibiza with my girlfriend, and I still signed 2 clients and took 3 sales calls without doing a thing. And I now get to work with clients that I consider friends because I can choose who I want to work with because I have such an influx of leads. This means that I can build a business that aligns with my dream life, which is traveling, spending time with quality people, and building a solid foundation for my future self. All because I built a reliable system for consistently booking sales calls all through LinkedIn. And the first shift that changed everything for me was realizing that I didn't have a lead gen issue, I had an ICP and an offer problem. And that's mistake number 1, trying to fix your lead generation before you fixed your offer and ICP problems. Now don't get me wrong, it's a super easy trap to fall into because it's difficult to identify whether you have a lead gen or an offer/ICP issue. But for a bit of backstory, last year I was running a $75K a month coaching business. Before we got to that point, we were stuck at around 20 to 25K a month. No matter what we tried, we could not break past that revenue ceiling. We'd done more DMs, we'd done more content, we put out lead magnets. And even though we was booking more sales calls, our revenue still stuck between that point. And then we changed our offer. We stopped selling £1,000 a month monthly coaching services and instead switched our offer to an 8-week program with a defined outcome at the end of them 8 weeks. And within just 60 days, we jumped from 20 to 25K a month to $75,000 every single month. So if you're not sure whether you've got an offer and ICP issue or a lead gen issue, the first thing you should do is look at your close rate. If it's less than 33%, it's probably an offer/ICP issue, meaning that people are jumping on sales calls, you're pitching your services, and the people just don't want to buy it because it's not something they want, or it doesn't resonate with their pains, it doesn't solve their goals, or maybe you're speaking to the wrong kind of people. So the first thing to look at is your close rate. The second thing to look at is look at the intent of your prospects when they show up to sales calls. Are they ready to buy and just need a little bit convincing? Do they already know what you're going to be selling them? Are they super clear on how you can help them? If not, it probably means that your messaging of your offer isn't clear enough across your marketing on your Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube profiles, and therefore it's not something they want either, or it's not written in their language. And the third thing to look at is just look at your offer in general. Does it solve a clear problem? Does it help them get a defined outcome? Does it have a defined time frame that you can help them achieve that in? Does it have any good guarantees that you can offer them, etc., etc.? If you don't look at your offer and think, yeah, I would buy that if I was in my ICP shoes, it's probably not the offer that you should be selling. And when you fix your offer, you can get the same number of leads, but close twice as many of them. And then when you do increase your lead volume, you make way more money. So first things first, look at your offer and your ICP definition. Mistake number 2 that all of the people on LinkedIn buy into is that they think they need a big audience before they can start signing clients. And so they spend loads of time, weeks, months, sometimes even years, trying to build this really big audience, hoping that once they get there, then they'll be able to sign clients. But the problem is that's just a waste of time. You don't need 100,000 followers to start signing clients. You don't even need 1,000 followers. I personally hit 10K a month before I had 5,000 followers on LinkedIn. And the same with my client, Peter Gaffney. He signed £45,000 worth of clients in the first 30 days of work with me, and he had less than 5,000 followers too. The difference between me and him and the people who are just trying to go viral is that they're appealing to everyone. And so no one really resonates with what they're selling, their content, etc. Whereas we have a super niche audience, but our content really resonates with every single one of them people. And so we have an audience of buyers, not just an audience of content watchers and viewers, etc. Because signing clients isn't about volume. It's about being relatable to your audience and converting them. Once you figure that bit out, then you can bring volume into your world. So, to build an audience of intentional buyers, start by posting daily content that solves your ideal clients' biggest pains, their biggest desires, their biggest fears, etc. to show them that you have a solution to their problems. Then build a sales navigator list of your ideal client. Look at their job title, their geography, how long they've been in their company or their job, etc. Build a list of them people and start connecting with them every single day. And then once you're bringing these ideal clients into your network, they'll start seeing your content. When you see them viewing your profile, liking and commenting on your post, DM them, offer to help them solve their problems, get them on a sales call and close them. You can do that with less than 1,000, maybe even less followers. Start treating your audience like a group of warm leads, not just a vanity metric. Mistake number 3 that people make is how they position themselves. Nowadays, everyone is relying on their systems, their guarantees, a really good offer to try and get them as many leads in as possible. They're all giving out money back guarantees and only 4 spots left claims in their posts. And everyone that's reading it knows it's not true. 3 years ago, that would have worked, but nowadays people can see through the bullshit. And everyone has a system, everyone has an offer, everyone has a guarantee these days. You need to find your own unique way to stand out, and that's not gonna be through your systems or your offer. You need people to choose you for you, because no one can compete with that. No one can compete with your unique story, how you got to where you are today, your beliefs, your values, your philosophies. Start sharing them things in your content. For example, I talk a lot about how I used to be driven by money and flashy things and trying to get the best car, etc. And then I got a kind of nice car and realized it didn't make me happy one bit. So then the last 6 months I've spent trying to figure out what actually drives me. And now I'm driven by supporting the closest people around me, becoming the best version of myself, building a solid foundation for me and my future family. And since I've been sharing that in my content, I've been attracting more and more people who align with that and resonate with it. Meaning A, I get more leads because I'm differentiating myself, but B, the people that I'm bringing into my world are people that align with my values. And so my clients are high quality. I enjoy working with them more. I can help them more because they trust me. So stop just talking about vanity metrics and money and systems and offers and guarantees in your content. Definitely talk about it and share some value, but share your uniqueness as well. Talk about your values, beliefs, philosophies, your own unique story. And this brings me on to mistake number 4. People are chasing too many vanity metrics on LinkedIn. I have tons of people ask me, how do I increase my impressions? How do I increase my likes, my comments, my followers, etc.? And yes, them numbers are kind of important, but you don't need them to sign clients. Because at the end of the day, your landlord is not going to accept your monthly rent with how many likes you got on LinkedIn that week. Some of my lowest impression posts have generated me the most amount of leads. Whilst I've had posts that have got 400,000 plus impressions and 400 likes that have literally generated me 0 leads. Because engagement, likes, comments, impressions, followers, that doesn't mean buying intent. It just means that someone's interested in your content or liked what you posted. And so in your eyes, that should all just be noise until you're consistently signing clients and making the money that you want to make. So instead of focusing on them vanity metrics, post really useful content that solves your ICP's biggest pains, fears, desires. Track how many of them posts are converting into actual sales calls. Do more of them kind of posts. And then once you're bringing in consistent leads and you're actually converting them, then you can bring the volume into your lead gen system. Remember that the goal is not to go viral, it's to be profitable and make money. Mistake number 5, neglecting follow-ups in the DMs. This is the lowest effort, highest return fix that you can bring into a lead gen system. Because everyone's just scared to do follow-ups. They're worried about being salesy, they're worried about coming across annoying or having someone block them. But so what if you do? One person out of 100 people is gonna get a little bit annoyed. But I promise you now, if you do 100 follow-ups for previous DMs that haven't responded, 5 to 10 of them will respond, and maybe 2 or 3 of them will book in a sales call that you didn't have before. Most of my clients don't convert after the first time I message them. They take weeks, sometimes even months of seeing my content, messaging me following them up before they finally get on a sales call and actually trust me enough to buy from me. And if you reframe it in your head, doing follow-ups isn't pushy or salesy. You're just genuinely confident you can help this person, and you know that without your help, they're not going to get to where they want to get to. So you're actually doing them a favor by getting them to buy from you and getting them to solve their problem and reach their goals quicker. So in my outreach system, I have 3 types of follow-ups I do. The first one is when I send my first initial outreach message to someone. If they don't respond, I'll send them 1 follow-up 24 hours later. A simple, hey, just bumping this to the top of your inbox. If I'm mid-conversation with someone, we've gone back and forth a few times and I'm asking them some questions, and then they stop responding mid-convo, I'll follow them up 3, maybe even 4 times with 24 hours between each follow-up. Something like, hey name, just bumping this to the top of your inbox. Hey, just checking if you got this, just checking you saw this, etc., etc. Simple, quick message messages just to put your message back at the top of their inbox. And then the third follow-up is once I've sent a link to book a call with me and we're at the end of the conversation, if they don't book a call within half hour, I'll follow them up and say, hey, did any of them times work? If they don't book a call again, I'll follow up in 12 hours and say, hey, did you manage to find any times? And then the third follow-up is 24 hours later, hey, just check in, did you manage to find any times, or do you need me to open up some more slots? And then I might even do one more follow-up if I think they're keen. 48 to 72 hours later, just bumping them up again. Remember, follow-ups aren't pushy and salesy. You're trying to help that person solve their problem and their pains and reach their goals as quickly as possible. And you know that following them up will help them get there faster. And for your own benefit, if you're not following up, you're probably leaving quite literally thousands of pounds or dollars on the table. Mistake number 6. People try to build super complicated funnels before they've even got leads and sales calls coming in. If your funnel has 9 steps and touch points, 4 automations, and a whole page of SOPs trying to explain how it works, it's probably way too complicated unless you're making multi-6 figures every single month. At the end of the day, simplicity works and it will still sign your clients. My funnel is super simple. I post content that solves people's problems, people engage with that content, I DM them, get them on a sales call. Simple as that. And in fact, I don't even like to refer to it as a funnel because people don't see one of your posts, like it, get DM'd and book a sales call every single time. Chances are they see a few of your posts, don't engage, and then they'll like one of your posts, and then you might DM them, they might come back a month later and like another post. It's not a funnel. People don't literally go down it. I prefer to call it an ecosystem. I bring people into my world by showing them who I am, my values, my beliefs. They start following me, start seeing my content. And then over the course of 2, 3, maybe even sometimes 6 months, they consistently see my posts, my YouTube videos, my Instagram reels. And then over that period, I've built enough trust with them to finally get them on a sales call. You could call it a funnel. I prefer to call it an ecosystem because I'm nurturing them across multiple weeks and months. So don't think that you need to build out a super complicated funnel with lead magnets, VSLs, appointment setters before you're making multi-6 figures a month. Just keep it simple, post content, send DMs, get them on a sales call. And the last mistake number 7 is ignoring data. This is probably one of the most crucial ones that I see people making. Because if you're not measuring the data and the metrics within your business, you don't know what is and what isn't working, and therefore you can't improve anything and fix it. You're literally going to be relying on luck and gut instinct, which is not a fun way or a good way to run a business. I encourage all of my clients to track every single metric within their business. How many posts they've done that week, how many inbound leads they generated, how many DMs they sent, how many responses they got to their initial outreach, how many follow-ups they sent, how many responses the follow-ups got, how many sales calls they booked, how many of them closed, etc., etc. Because then you can find out what the outlying number is and fix that. And then off the back of that, you know exactly how many posts and DMs you need to send to book a sales call that week. And then you can turn that into a repeatable, predictable sales system. This is why I call my system the LinkedIn bakery system. I know every single week that I need to send roughly 30 DMs and do 5 posts at minimum to book 5 to 10 sales calls. And off the back of that, I'll close 2 or 3 clients. So then if I want 2 or 3 clients that week, all I have to do is send 30 DMs, post 5 posts, and 99% of the time, because my data tells me so, I will sign 2 or 3 clients. And then if I want 6 clients, I just have to double the amount of posts and double the amount of DMs that I do. So now I can scale my business where I want to get it to by just doing more inputs, and I know exactly how many inputs I need to do to get to where I want to get to. So if you're chasing vanity metrics like LinkedIn likes, impressions, followers, trying to fix your lead gen and bring in a ton of sales calls before you even know whether your offer is going to convert, building super complicated funnels that you just don't need, or treating your DM follow-ups like an optional extra, then you're not just making your life harder, you are quite literally leaving a ton of clients and money on the table. But when you shift out of these habits and you start making a lead gen system that's predictable and only focuses on money and clients signed as the only KPI, then you'll be able to scale your business predictably every single month, knowing that you have clients coming in. And more importantly than just signing a ton of clients and making a ton of money, you're going to be able to build a business that allows you to live your dream lifestyle, because you're not going to be stressing about when the next client will or won't sign. You'll be able to take a week off and still bring in leads and sales calls. You'll attract clients who align with your values, your beliefs, your philosophies, and so you enjoy working with them more and be able to get them better results. Meaning that long term, you can build a business that sustains a life you genuinely enjoy, and you can set yourself up now for a solid foundation for you and your future family. But remember, no one's going to come and fix this for you. There's no magic pill out there, and as much as so many gurus gurus at the minute are pitching you this amazing outcome and guarantee that you're going to be booking 1 million sales calls next week. It's just not true. I don't pitch any of my clients an outcome that I don't think I can help them achieve. And that's why I only work with a select few people every single week. You can watch all my videos about my LinkedIn system, how I book sales calls through DMs, how I write content that generates inbound leads. You can go and learn all of this yourself, but it starts by taking action and actually wanting to solve this. So if you're a coach, consultant, agency owner, or a founder who wants to scale up your business and build a LinkedIn lead gen system that predictably books sales calls every single week so that you can work with high quality clients you genuinely enjoy working with, then drop me a DM on LinkedIn or Instagram, or click the link in the description to book a call with me and I'll see if I can help you. I hope you found this video useful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions you want me to answer, put them in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can.